Hi, I'm Charles. I own and direct Kaleidoscope Rock Academy and Kaleidoscope School of Music here in the Seattle area. This is the last video in a series of videos about Moogs and approaching soloing and composing in Moogs from what I call the Pentatonic Plus framework. So this last Moog gives us a little bit of trouble in that regard, because what we've been doing up to now is finding a major minor pentatonic that is a subset of the Moog, and then just adding one characteristic note to it in each octave to make it sound like that mode without really playing the mode. The problem with the last mode, Locrian, is that Locrian is a diminished mode. It's the only mode that has a flat fifth as kind of a regular fifth. So we actually can't just superimpose a blues scale on that, because blues scales have perfect fifths. So here's how we're going to approach this one. We're basically stretching the concept we've been using up till now to make this one work, but I think it still has some really excellent value as far as helping you play the scale with more feeling. So this is the A Locrian scale. It's the first one we've done in this series that's actually got more than one flat or sharp. This one has a B flat and an E flat. And then if we write the A minor pentatonic, which is our closest analog in the pentatonic scale, underneath it, we've got some of the same notes, but we've got this one note that clashes, which is the E. So for the first time, we're not actually going to do Pentatonic Plus. What we're going to do is we're going to do a pentatonic replacement. So we're going to replace that E in every octave with the E flat that is the characteristic diminished sounding, flat fifth sounding note from the Locrian scale. So what I end up with is kind of interesting hybrid of A, C, D, E flat, G, A. I'm going to circle the E flat in the same color that I was using up above for the characteristic scale step. So we also don't have a 6-note hybrid now like all the other videos, so you just got a 5-note scale. But now with this altered E flat. The E flat, however, is the passing tone from the blues scale. The only thing is now it's not a passing tone, it is the fifth, because the fifth has been flatted. So it's going to give us this really cool, kind of creepy sounding pentatonic scale, but it's still got, I think, going to tie more into potential blues rock phrasing than if we were thinking straight up Locrian. So I'm going to write this down here around the 5th fret. I'm going to put R for the root, because A is R root, and that happens 3 times in this pattern. And I'm going to start writing out my blues scale, but I'm going to skip all those notes that I know have to be altered. So what's going to happen is after the 3rd note of a minor pentatonic, I'll go up a half step to find this E flat or this flat fifth. In other keys, it would just be going up a half step or 1 fret from the 3rd note of the minor pentatonic in every octave. And so I'm going to get 2 of them. There's a D sharp. I wrote E flat on the paper. It doesn't matter. It's either one. E flat's probably more proper because you've got a D in the spelling of the scale. But on the fretboard, E flat and D sharp are the same. So I've got E flat on the 5th string 6th fret and the E flat on the 3rd string 8th fret. So here's my weird kind of hybrid pentatonic I'm going to use to solo over this. In the same way, this is kind of a problematic mode to approach like the other ones, coming up with something on GarageBand to play over. A lot of times you see Locrian just reduced to like a riff. It's kind of hard to find chords that really sound good over this in a rock context because of the fact that the home bass chord is diminished, which is unresolved. So I'm going to come up with a bass line over this session drummer in GarageBand and see if I can play over it. So I just improvise that bass line, and then when I solo over this, I'm going to try to still emphasize my root a lot. It's going to kind of ground this unusual scale to play a good amount of phrases to end in A. I'm going to try to modify some of the blues licks to contain what was the passing tone, but now is the only tone for the 5th, and then we'll see what happens. So here we go. made a couple missteps in there. Sometimes the blues phrasing, if you allow yourself to connect to your blues phrasing, you end up playing a lick that shouldn't be there. So I played a couple natural fifths in there. Luckily, I played them fast, so they kind of still worked. But I really should have edited those out because the goal was only to play the flat fifth, the E flat. But all in all, I think that made the Locrian sound more like a blues jam, and that's kind of the point of this whole series, is playing the Moog with the same degree of kind of comfort or organicity, there's a good word, that you play your rock licks with. And that one was actually really fun. I love this little hybrid pentatonic. If you enjoyed watching this, definitely check out other things on the channel. If you enjoyed the Moog videos, you can go back through and there's all the other ones, including, you know, starting with the overview and going through all the different Moogs. So I covered 5 out of 7. I did not cover major or minor because those, the first and 6th Moog of the major scale are pretty familiar to people as both a major scale and a natural minor scale. But I did cover the other 5, so go back, check out all those examples, and hopefully this helps you play Moogs more comfortably right away. Thanks for watching.